Hi, 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 hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, hi, hi. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello, hello. Dajiao. Hello, hello, hello. That was greeting in Mandarin Chinese. How did it sound? But yeah, hi guys. Hi. How is everyone doing? How is your day going? How is the week treating you? And how has the month been treating you? Tell me all about it. Anything exciting happening in your world? I hope everything is going well for you. Um, but yeah, my day, I had a pretty good day. I worked out, did some errands, and then I just tried to relax. You know, is it me, or does it feel like the weekend goes by like super fast? Or if you have like days off on the weekdays, goes by really, really, really fast, and I'm just like, what? Like, I feel like you blink and then you open your eyes and your weekend is done. Like, what is going on? Why is time going by that fast? Like, why is the weekend? Why does the weekend go by that fast? I wish we can have a 3-day weekend. Like, that would make sense. Like, I just feel like with 2 days off, you're not getting enough rest. Like, it's too short. It's too short. Hopefully, we can get a 3-day weekend. If not, I might have to move to Europe or a country that normalize, letting their workers rest. But yeah, but I'm not complaining. I'm grateful to have a job nonetheless. But yeah, you guys, what artists have you guys been listening to lately? And what book are you reading currently? It could be audiobook, it doesn't have to be physical book. I just started reading A Psalm of Us today by let's focus on the storyline. Let's focus on the characters. Let's focus on the character development. Like, let's focus on the story. Like, I'm okay with a kiss just happening if it's necessary. Like, we don't need all that other extra stuff. Like, ever since I started watching K-drama, like my first time watching it, and I was like, I kept waiting for that part. I was like, oh, is this the part they're gonna kiss? Are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that? And it's like, I feel like my mind was just too screwed up because I just been watching a lot of, European shows and stuff like that. So I see a lot of those and I'm like, this is gonna happen. I was so wrong. Like, the show that I watched, I don't even think a kissing scene happened. And it was so refreshing. Like, I had to sit back and be like, this was actually like a feel-good show. Like, it didn't do too much. There was like, they just focused on the story and the story only. Of course, there was romance and stuff like that, but it's like, the romance wasn't the main part of the storyline. And so, it was The Glory. I don't know if you've ever watched The Glory. It's on Netflix. It's about a girl that was getting bullied really, really bad by like the rich kids. It was so bad. I think it went from middle school to high school. I don't remember because after, I think so. I don't think she finished high school. It's either high school or college. But she ended up not completing it and having to leave. In the group, it was like male and females, and they all participated in bullying that girl. Like, they did her so bad. She ended up not completing school, and I think she ended up moving. I don't know if she moved out of Korea or she just moved to a different state. But she ended up moving. The time that she's been away, she's been plotting on how to get the bullies back. So she been studying, she did all of that, and she looks classy. I forgot if she ended up, because she was very, very smart. Even when she left school, she was extremely intelligent. But I'm trying to remember, I think she ended up going to school somewhere else and graduated, but I don't remember what was her occupation. I want to say a writer. I don't remember what her occupation was, but she looked like she had money. But yeah, I saw after however many years has gone, she came back to the state that she left because of the bullying. So she applied for a job. I think she applied for a job as, I want to say, a nanny or housekeeper. It was something like that. And she came back, she got a job, and from there she started putting her plan into action. She basically found a way to infiltrate the circle, which is the group of the people that bullied her. She did it through her job, and basically she's been keeping tabs on them, so she knows a lot about them. They had already forgotten about her. she showed herself, they became angry. They became angry that, a girl like her that they used to bully can get into their circle and start affecting them. So they tried to fight back, but they weren't winning. She messed up the friendship. They weren't friends anymore. They hated each other. She did an amazing job. In the end, she destroyed all of them. And then she wanted to go commit suicide, because she felt like she didn't, although she was doing all those things to those people, she didn't feel good about herself. Like, she wasn't even happy. Like, the people were mean to her. They were just so mean to her. Like, they traumatized that girl, so she was already not happy. And then her getting that revenge, that didn't really make her happy either. She just wanted to make sure that they get taken down. Yeah, it's a good show. No, she didn't end up committing suicide. Through the process of her getting the bullies back, one of the girl was married to this guy, but they ended up divorcing. And that guy ended up falling in love with, the girl that was getting back at her bullies. Was able to save her in the end, and they ended up being together. But it's a really good show. I think it was a show. It's limited series. I don't remember how many episodes, but you'll like it. But yeah, that was my introduction to K-drama, and I haven't looked back since. Like, it's so refreshing to not see, too many sex stuff. It's so refreshing to see, quality in writing, quality in acting, just overall quality. It's so refreshing to see. So I would advise people to just not stick to shows and movies from the States. Venture out. But yeah, that was my little venting session. Venting session. Venting session. Guys, I finally finished season 2 of Solo Leveling. Whoa, 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 whoa. Round of applause for me. Yay, 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 yay. Yeah, this show is so good. So, we left off on season 1, where he got the magic power and he was able to summon, the demons that he killed. He was able to summon them, and they become his, basically, his soldiers. And they become his soldier. So, in season 2, he was still on a mission, to find a cure for his mother. So there was a mission. For that mission, it's 100. It had 100 levels. And at the end of it, once he gets all the way to the 100th floor and he defeats whatever that's up there, he will get an elixir. And so he went on that mission so that he can get the elixir to heal his mother. Yeah, this man is focused on that mission, so he was doing that mission. I think he did half of it, and they've been pretty easy for him, but he was running low on energy. Like, he didn't have enough food to sustain him until he gets to the 100th floor. And I think on the 100th floor, it's supposed to be, I think, cold, like something with the weather is off, and he didn't didn't have enough money to buy something that can protect him. So he did a couple rounds and he left, and then now he's back doing the regular hunter stuff. Not like the other one he does is like personal, and he has tougher opponents, but with the regular hunting missions that they send him to, it's usually not that bad. So he did a couple missions, he did a couple floors, and he left to go do regular, brotherly stuff, hunter stuff, keeping up with his sister, like checking up on his sister, all of that. And in the midst of all of that, his dad is in town. His dad basically, I guess his dad knows that he had a second awakening, and he came to save him or give the people warning of a great battle that's gonna happen. And I guess this great battle is gonna happen because Gino had a second awakening. I don't know. The dad didn't say much. Honestly, the dad wasn't in a lot of the episodes. He came to trying to find him, but he ended up getting arrested because they're from a different planet. So the way he came and he was talking, they thought he was crazy. So how he came in and what he was talking about giving them the warning and stuff like that, they thought he was crazy, so they arrested him. He wasn't even locked up for that long. He ended up getting in a fight with one of the S rank. That S rank, I don't remember his name, but he had came in town looking for Gino, because in season 1, Gino unalived his brother on one of the missions that they went to. But the brother was a bully, honestly. The brother was the brother was an A rank. So him and the rest of the A rank, like usually they send a higher rank with an E rank. They tried to say Gino up. Gino and another the hunter on a D rank, they sent them on a mission together, but then they pretended like they needed to go outside to look for something and make Gino and the other D-list to basically stay behind and fight whatever demon is in that dungeon. But they only do that to set them up because they're like, they're in the lowest rank, so they're not going to be able to win. And the demon will unalive the E rank and the D rank, and then later on they'll come and finish the job off. And the reasoning, I guess, for doing that is because they didn't want to share. Usually if you defeat the demon in that dungeon, you get to take all the goods there, and it's usually like diamonds. So, or it's money, I don't know. It looks like diamond, but yeah, they get that. And so, yeah, they left Gino in a D rank over there, and people still didn't know Gino had a second awakening and how strong he was. They were still under the impression that, he's weak. He defeated the monster, he defeated the demon in that dungeon, and then the A rank guys came back, and they were surprised that those two guys, that Gino and the other guys, survived. So from there, they still tried to intimidate them, and they took it upon themselves to try to unalive Gino. The way Gino cleared them up, the way Gino defeated them, they didn't even see it coming. So yeah, so his oldest brother came back to town to avenge his brother. So his brother is looking for he's just so focused on getting his mom back to normal. He doesn't know his dad is in town, and I don't know why the dad didn't go to their house to go find. I guess the dad didn't know where they live, but yeah, he doesn't know his dad is in town. He doesn't know that an S rank is looking for him because he unalived his brother. Like, he was just focused on completing these missions so he can get stronger, so that he can go back to one of the gates where he was gonna complete 100 levels. So they got assigned a mission with an A rank group again. By this time he still was considered an E rank. So there was the gate that they went into. It's supposed to be a gate for, A rank group can handle, because the missions that they get sent to, it has to be what they're able to handle at their rank. So they send them to a gate, or so they thought. Once the gate closed, the color of the gate showed, and it was a difficult mission. And nobody can really get, once the gate is closed, it can only open once the mission is complete. So the people from the outside were trying to find a way to open the gate, but they couldn't. The guy that's looking for Chinu, he arrived there as well, trying to find Chinu. He's very cocky, just like his brother. But anyways, so the gate closed, and within the groups there's people that are very cocky. One of the captain, he took his job very serious, and a part of him seemed like he was envious of Chinu, and he looked at them like that was the weaker group. So the team split up, and the group that went with the captain, they didn't even last. Like, they were taken out so fast, and the captain was just out there by himself. Once his whole group got taken out, he started going back, looking for Chinu's group. Chinu's group, they were fighting some like giant bears. Chinu's group didn't fight. Chinu fought for them, and he just told them to basically sit and relax. So he was able to take down all those giant bears, and then he summoned the bear. So now the bears are his soldiers. And then the fight was still not over. Now the snow people came around, and they kind of look like White Walkers. I don't know if you've ever watched Game of Thrones, but they had something called White Walkers. So those snow people look like him. And something strange happened when the leader was talking to him. The leader was able to tell that Chinu is not human, I guess, and they were speaking telepathically. But Chinu didn't even know that he could do that, but he was able to communicate telepathically. But the guy didn't really give Chinu too much. The guy didn't really answer much of Chinu's questions. But he was surprised that Chinu was fighting for the humans. So Chinu defeats the snow people. But the leader of the snow people was challenging, but Chinu was able to defeat him. And after that, I think Chinu summoned them as well, so they became his soldier. He completed that mission, and the gate opened, and he was like talking to himself about basically having to get a reevaluation, because now there's more questions, because how did he survive, and was able to free them. But yeah, he was able to defeat the demon on the 100th floor. That demon was strong, so it took Gino a little bit more time to defeat that demon, but he was able to take the demon down. And he got the elixir, y'all. He got the elixir. And he went to the hospital to have his mom take the elixir. Now, once he gave the elixir to his mom, and when his mom is fully, like when she was finally fully awake and alert, she like greeted him and he just broke down into her crying. Oh my gosh. It was so sweet and so cute. Like, she didn't say much after that. She embraced him and he was just there. You know, like just falling into her, just crying. It was a cute moment between that. So she's awake, she's alert. They discharge her from the hospital. She's home. The daughter gets reunited with the mom. The daughter also, she's crying. She's crying like it was crying. The mom did ask about the dad. So I guess they're aware that they have a dad because in season 1 there wasn't really mentions of a dad. And once the mom is hospitalized, it's just basically him and his sister, and they were taking care of each other. So I don't know. There wasn't too much mentions of the dad, and even if he had one, she asked about the dad and then there wasn't too much follow up. She didn't say too much after that. So I don't know. I don't know if she knows that he's in town or she was just asking because of how long she's been gone. But now that he gave his mom the elixir, his ranking status, his hunting status is now has been upgraded. He's in S rank. And while this is happening, the city is becoming infested by ants. These are like big ants. And so they're getting ready for a battle. So they reach out to different countries to send in their hunters. Mostly the S rank. So all the S rank are supposed to come together to get ready for this battle with the ant infestation. So the S rank hunters from different countries, they all came in. I think each country sent their 10. They all came in. It was in a big place. They had to be put in a special place when they're fighting and practicing because they're too powerful. So they're there practicing their fight. One of the characters, one of the hunters wanted to fight Gino. It's supposed to be just like practice, like, to see their strength. And they were fighting, but it didn't get too far because they were supposed to fight without using their full power, and some of the hunters were using the full power, so they put that fight to a stop. The group, they geared up and they had to go to an island. That's where the queen ant is, and she's laying all the eggs, like making more ants. I guess she was trying to take over, but Gino turned that down. He didn't want to go in the battle, so they went to that island. When I say it was ants and ants and ants, and these ants are also flying. It was a lot. So so the team split up. And at first they were doing well, because it was just ants. Those ants weren't doing too much damage. Before the fight started, there were a special ant, and that ant is she had sent him out there. And the rest of the group of the A rank, they went inside. They went inside so that they can defeat the queen. Eventually, they did defeat the queen. While they were in there defeating the queen, the super strong ant was out there taking out all these S-rank guys that split up to kill the small ants, to unalive the small ants. That ant, the super strong one, the way he was taking them out, like you didn't even see it coming. The hunters didn't see it coming, and mind you, they are S-rank. But yeah, he was able to take out the queen ants. And when that happened, all the other ants that were like flying or, going to destroy, some of them started swarming around so they can go back in that dungeon. So once the queen was unalived, the big ant came inside and he wanted to know who was their king. He was talking to the S-rank hunters. He's like, who is your king? Who is your king? He wanted to go after their king because they took his queen. And he did some damage to those hunters. He did some damage. And the way he was hurting them left and right too fast, they didn't even see it coming. Oh my gosh, so he was able to unalive the healer. And I think it was the healer and one of the hunters. Yeah, because I think he took out the healer first, because the healer was first hiding. I guess he has invisibility or something like that, or a cloak, I don't remember, but he was able to hide himself while the super ant was hurting all the other hunters. But somehow the super ant was able to locate the healer and off him, so now they become weaker because they're not healing back up. So if anything happens to them, there's nobody there that can heal them or, prevent them from, taking their last breath. But he was kicking their, he was beating them up so bad. And then finally he stopped beating them up, and then he was asking, who is your king? Who is your king? I guess he wanted to go after their king, their leader, because, his queen, his leader got taken. He's pointing outside, out there, and then the guys just nodded, so the super ant left. And he went outside. And when he left, not long after that, Chinu arrived at the dungeon. And he was trying to heal one of the girls that's brutally injured, one of the hunter females. He was trying, but he couldn't, it was just, she was in a bad shape. And he only had a time limit to, get her back to their town so that she can get medical attention. So as he was trying to heal them, a lot of the small ants that, turned around and was swarming back to the dungeon, they arrived. And the team was too weak to fight them because the super ant beat them up. So Chinu had to, summon his soldiers to do the fighting. So while they were doing the fighting, reason he wasn't able to heal. He had a potion that he gave to the other hunters that were injured. But the potion didn't work. I don't know if it was because she was already like in bad shape, or it has to do with something else. But I just remember that it didn't work on her, and they were running out of time. Like they weren't gonna have enough time to get her back to town. So what Chinu did is he summoned the healer, because remember the healer, got unalive. Once he woke up, the healer then healed the girl. And then the team asked that basically for Chinu to release the healer's body, because that's what he would have wanted. And Chinu felt like that was what the guy would have wanted as well, so he released him. So that means, he just disappears basically. Like, he doesn't have to stay a soldier for Chinu. Once the girl woke up, now they're fighting the small ants, and they're doing a good job, but there's just a lot of them, and the other soldiers, they were becoming tired and running out of energy, but Chinu was doing a lot of the work, and his soldiers were also doing a lot of the work. Now, while they were inside the dungeon fighting the small ant, the big ant was, the super ant was outside beating people up. And then he took out one of the hunters, supposed to be one of the strongest one. And the way he takes him out is like they never saw it coming like that, and the speed on it, like it was just like so fast, like you don't even see it coming, you just hear it, and that's it. And what he does is just cut their head out. Like all you hear is something running. Next thing you know, somebody's head is just falling off, and it's like you didn't see it coming. They didn't see it coming. Once he was able to defeat that hunter, I figured like that can't be the king because of how easily he was able to defeat him. He went back to the dungeon. Then he went basically to Chinu, asking if Chinu was the king. But the super ant was able to sense sister, they just chilling, living their life. You know, he's just going about his day. Then the camera cuts to the dungeon where it's like a portal opened. And when it opened, there was like a blue creature. They look like the snow people from season 1. And they're talking, I don't know, I think they were talking about Jinu's father. They were looking for him. Because remember, I said Jinu's father came back to town to go see Jinu now that Jinu had his second awakening. So the portal opened. They're there talking. And then they left and that portal closed. And then at the end, the camera pins up and it's Jinu's father. He was hiding between like the rocks. And basically that's where it ends. It's a crazy show, literally. From start to finish, the storyline is great. The character development is nice as well. So please go watch it if you're into anime. You might love it. But if you've seen it before, tell me what you like about it. Who's your favorite character? If you haven't seen it before, please go ahead and check it out. You might actually like it. But yeah, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a great day, a great week, a great month. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Until next